But I want to talk about a movie that had a sequel, and the sequel I would say is, in my eyes, I'm a big fan of this franchise. I'm a huge fan. I've been watching the previous television shows on Paramount Plus like a madman. I'm talking about Star Trek, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about Star Trek Into Darkness. This movie, a lot of people the critic scores are still high on it. Like as far as like the users are like the critics are like, it was actually like a solid. I forget exactly what it was on Metacritic or on Rotten Tomatoes, but this movie, every single Star Trek fan was bashing on this movie because like, oh, the wrong guy screams Khan at the very spoilers if you haven't seen it. It's been out of theaters for almost 10 years. It came out in 2013. Spoilers for that. But anyways, oh, the wrong guy screams Khan. Oh, Scotty would never abandon the mission. Khan was the wrong, but it's not Ricardo Montalban. I've heard the pure Star Trek fan, like, and I've heard people online when a movie first came out say, "Oh, this movie sucks. It's so bad." And like, if you take it for what it's worth, it's a very fun modern action adventure sci-fi film with a lot of slow shots in it too. It's not just all action. It's not just all speed. It's not just all high velocity entertainment. It truly is a really really great movie, guys. And it doesn't get a lot of love online. It doesn't get a lot of appreciation by fans. And I'm of the opinion that this movie, Star Trek Into Darkness, is quite honestly a modern, I wouldn't say masterpiece, but it's definitely, to me, the first one was just in 2009. Star Trek 2009 was great. This was a really, really great follow-up, truthfully. I love this movie to death. I'm a big fan of the timeline, the Kelvin timeline. And it's funny, a lot of the Star Trek community is like, oh, everything up until everything 2005 and up is not true Star Trek. Guys, listen to me. It's a franchise. They're going to do what they want with it. And no, at the time, 2006 or 7, before the reboot movie came out, no one cared about the franchise. So it took someone like J.J. Abrams to put it in a different universe, reboot the franchise. And it was a giant success with the massive regular going audiences to go see these types of movies with Star Trek and with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto. And basically, this movie is just a really fun movie. I was thoroughly entertained with it. And I would actually say that the follow-up, just on a side note, the follow-up, Star Trek Beyond, is arguably better. This franchise keeps getting better and better. I'm a big fan of these types of Star Trek films. I wish that they would make more TV stuff like this. I have nothing against. I love the original series. I love Next Generation. I have yet to binge watch Deep Space Nine or Voyager, but I'm very impatiently waiting to do so because I'm a big Star Trek fan. I would not call myself a Trekkie or a Trekker, whatever it's called, but I would say that I'm a big fan of this franchise, and I love the Kelvin timeline. Fight me, everyone, fight me. But this movie is great. And it got so much hate when it came out because of different reasons or whatever. Put your prejudice aside and accept that it's a great movie. Yes, all film is subjective. Yes, everything's an opinion or whatever. But this movie was really, truly great in more ways than one. Bill, have you seen Star Trek Into Darkness at all or no?
No, sorry.
Oh, no. We have to get you on the bandwagon. I would actually argue there's more Star Trek out there than Star Wars between TV shows and movies.
I can kind of agree on that.
I mean, they made Star Trek the original series. It was 3 seasons. They made Star Trek The Next Generation, which lasted 7 seasons. Deep Space Nine lasted 6 or 7 seasons. Voyager lasted 6 or 7. Enterprise lasted, I think, 4 seasons. But then that's literally like within 30, 40 years of just Trek in general. Then you had the 6 movies of the original cast. Then you had the 4 movies with the Next Generation crew. It was nonstop Star Trek for a long time there, and they have more movies out than Star Wars. So there's an argument to be made right there. But I'm getting sidetracked. Star Trek: The Next Generation, Star Trek Into Darkness is a really fun movie. I think it is as true as you could get to a modern telling of the original series, truthfully, if I'm being brutally honest, everyone. So I don't think this movie gets the love it deserves for what it is. So, but that's me.